Guess what time it is? No, it's not tool time. It's a Coleman stove time in a box. All right, here we go. What do I have in the box? Well, like I said, it's a Coleman stove, but more importantly, it's a 508. Ta-da! This thing is cool. Now, I did open the box already just to make sure what I ordered off eBay was what I got, because I've done that before where you order something and get exactly what you didn't order. Okay, so what do we have here? We have a Coleman 508, which is pretty self-explanatory. It's a single burner Coleman stove. And why did I buy this over the, well, this guy right here, the 502? Okay, I'll tell you why. It's not that we don't like the 502, it just doesn't have enough power, and this guy is supposed to have quite a bit more power. So, what we need to do in this video though is we need to make sure it actually works, because the description said that it was a good clean stove and that it doesn't work, that it might need a pump cup. And luckily, oh, let me grab it real quick. And luckily, I just have one. So in anticipation for this thing coming, I went ahead and stuck one of my new pump cups that I have. I kind of keep a stash of these things because they're getting a little hard to come by. But I put one of my new leather pump cups in engine oil and let it sit there for about a day or two. That way it can absorb all that nice, good, fresh engine oil and maybe fix this thing. So right off the gate, let's just see if it pumps. And no, absolutely no pumping. Okay, so it doesn't pump. Has no pressure in it. Okay, let's see, is this seal any good? Let's check that. Oh, that seal actually looks nice. Maybe they replaced that recently. I don't know, that looks good though. Okay, so that's a good sign. I mean, overall, the condition of the stove is actually pretty good. It doesn't look like it burned very much. I mean, this is not all rusted out. It's not really super discolored. It got a little warm, but that's pretty normal, right? It's a burner. The bottom isn't all torn apart. You know what? Let's check the inside of the tank. That's gonna be a good test. Grab my little O-light here. Oh yeah, it looks really clean. I mean, you do see something right there, but that's like a pink color, not rust. And if I remember right, that's like the anti-rust coating they put on the inside. So to me, it actually looks really clean in there. I don't see anything weird or any rust or anything like that. It looks nice and clean, nice and shiny in there. That is what we want. Okay, so what have we established so far? This cap looks good. The whole overall condition of the stove looks good. The pump cup doesn't appear to be working, and that lever rotates nice and free. And I can also hear there's a cleaner needle on this, a little pricker. I can hear it. I don't know if you can hear it moving, but I can hear the linkage moving and the needle going up and down, so that seems to be working. And what about this guy? Yep, that seems to work. Walks that way, goes all the way that way and stays. I can feel it moving linkage in there. It rotates pretty freely. All right, so good news. All right, everything seems to work except for that guy. So let's grab some tools real quick. We'll pull that apart, put a new pump cup on it. I'll show you kind of how to do that, and then pour some fuel in it and see what happens. Okay, we've never replaced one of these before. They're actually pretty simple. I've not actually torn the pump cup off of this, but I have rejuvenated the pump cups, and so these pumps are they're very easy to get out. So essentially what you have holding this in here is this one little piece of wire. So we go ahead and pull that out of here. If I can grab it with these pliers. There we go. You grab that wire, and then you slide this piece off, your whole pump comes out. And yeah, that cup is no good, no bueno. Honestly, it's not the good design either. So this is another tip. If you're gonna replace these, if you're gonna rebuild these things, or you have one and it doesn't work and you need a new pump cup, this little guy right here, that's what makes your pressure. These are the newer like rubber poly style, and they just get incredibly hard. I don't know if you can tell, but they just get incredibly hard. and they deform and they don't grab very well, and so they don't last very long, honestly. I think mostly it's probably because people don't oil them, but they definitely don't last as long as the leather ones. So if you're gonna get a replacement, make sure and get the leather cup. They're not very expensive. I think they're almost the same price. Yeah, probably almost the same price. Okay, let's go ahead and get that out of there somehow. I don't know if this is gonna be the right tool. I'm gonna have to get a screwdriver. Whoa, that exploded. Okay, we are good to go. So that is what this thing's gonna look like when it has nothing on it. Interesting. All right, and then the other parts of your pump here is you've got the spring. Doesn't really need to be replaced, and that's about it. All right, so in your new kit, you're going to have your little base that goes on there like that. You're going to have your nice new leather pump cup and your little retainer. And that's about it. So we're gonna get that pushed down in there all nice and flush and neat. It appears to be all the way in there. Use a tool and give a little pressure just for good measure here. All right. Yeah, that leather is nice and supple now since I put that motor oil on it. I found with these things, a lot of people tell you put vegetable oil because it's usually what you have what you're cooking with, but what I found out is motor oil actually works the best on these things, and I think the reason is because the engine oil is designed to handle heat and pressure and all sorts of things, and vegetable oil is really not, or canola oil, whatever you cook with. And so I think that's why the engine oil lasts much, much longer on these things, which is cool. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and wipe a whiff of engine oil in this little space here where the pump goes. That's just so we don't cut the leather and give it a little bit of lubrication as it's going in and out. And then what we're gonna do is work this pump in. It's gonna kind of be tight, so I'm gonna go bottom first. I've changed my tactic here. I'm gonna go from the side like this. When these cups are new, they're quite a bit larger than these holes that you want them to go into, so it's a little rough at first. On my other stove, my 502 that I showed you, that pump cup is nice and broken in, and I can take that pump in and out pretty easy, pretty quick. All right, there we go. I'll be honest, I didn't think it was gonna go in there for a minute. All right, now the only thing we do is we line this guy up. Oh yeah, that's definitely pumping. All right, now that the pump is in, I can definitely hear it's building pressure. Now the only thing is to lock it in with this little wires. So you basically just do the reverse of what we did. I don't know, this pliers is a little too thick to do this really. On the 502, the wire that's on there that holds this thing in, you can almost do it with your fingers. It's kind of crazy. You can't pop it out with your fingers, but you can definitely put it over here and almost pop it in with just your fingers. It's kind of nice. All right, did I get it? Yep, got it, okay. All right. Oh yeah, that pumps really, really well. And it holds pressure too, perfect. All right, the only thing is to do now is to wipe some of the oil off our hands and off this thing and fill it up with some fuel. It has a little in there. Whoever shipped it with some a little bit of fuel in there, not much. So we'll go ahead and add some fresh new fuel to it. I'm not even gonna pour the stuff that's in there out. I'm just gonna go ahead and add to it. What do you think, that's enough? Let's look in there. We'll put some more in, why not? Can't hurt it, right? Okay, that should be more than enough to get us started. Oh yeah, perfect. All right, let's commence. Let's see, we're off here. That's shut. Pump is on. Wipe up the fuel I spilled everywhere on myself. Let's commence the pumping. Oh yeah. Okay. I can definitely tell I got some good pressure in there now. And first off, I got a little oil up here, it looks like. I don't hear any leaks. So that's a good sign. All right, let's go ahead and light this puppy for the first time. And let's see what happens. Are you ready? Okay, so to light this one, we flip this valve out that way. This guy has to go to high. This is kind of our fuel control, and this is our on and off valve now. So a little different than the 502. Let's pop this guy open. Oh, gotta have this valve on though. All right, okay. Well, that was pretty good. Let's see how long it takes her to settle down and warm up. It's getting there. It is taking a little bit of time, but it is getting there. Look at that. Can we go all the way? Yeah, we can go all the way. Okay. So it took a little time to get hot, but it's warm. Let's see the simmer. Okay, seems to simmer pretty well. What do you guys think? Look at it. Yeah, look at that simmer. Look at that nice Coleman blue glow. What happens if we go up? Still pretty good. I think the generator definitely needs a little bit of cleaning. Well, that's cool. What do you guys think? I mean, honestly, I bought this one for $37, so I don't think that was a bad deal either. I got a nice, pretty clean, I would consider this pretty clean, a nice, pretty clean 508 Coleman stove that seems to run pretty well. It just needed a pump cup. Looks like it's gonna need a little bit of cleaning in there too, naturally, like I mentioned, but that's not very hard. You take apart this nut, and the whole thing kind of slides out here. You just take everything apart carefully and soak it in some white gas or something and do a little cleaning. Or apple cider vinegar works really well too for these things. But yeah, I am really pleasantly surprised. Wow, I am shocked. So while this is running, the real reason we got this, I may have mentioned this before, is the heat output. It's got so much more heat than the 502. That's really why we wanted it. And what's really cool is, I mean, this lever is just sexy, isn't it? I mean, how many of you don't like things with levers? I know I do. Lever's nice. I like the lever. It does have kind of a good functionality to it. If you take the 502, for example, right? I'll just throw it here side by side for a second. And Oh, look, it's actually a little smaller. How funny. But, and you got a big pot on here, right? Something that covers like this much of the burner. You have to reach under here, under the pot to adjust the temperature, right? Whereas this guy, if you have a big pot over it, you can imagine, I can't get my hand that close. It's easier to reach your hand closer to the bottom of the tank, and this lever can be pointed out. So it's a little easier to grab this lever than it's going to be to grab that lever. It's kind of why we bought it. That and, again, the power output. You know, maybe it just takes longer for the stove to get going. I'm still going to clean the generator, but, you know, once it's going, it doesn't really seem like it has any hiccups or anything. Let's see how it simmers for the rest of this. All right, so what do you guys think about it? What do you guys think about the 508? Did I make a good choice? Should I stay with the 502? Remember, I'm gonna keep that one. I'm definitely not getting rid of it. But this one is very neat. You guys think I did well? Do you think $37 was worth it, or did I overpay? I personally think it was worth it. All right, so that's about it for this video. Thank you guys for watching. I really appreciate it. This is not a long-term review. We haven't actually cooked with it yet. That'll come up after we take it out on a few camping trips, and I will let you know exactly what we think about it and how it works. Until that time, thank you guys for watching. Really appreciate it, and we'll see you in the next video.